Now that you have a copy of a personal credit report, you may have some questions about how to read the data and interpret what it is telling you. A credit report is a summary of one's past credit history, public records, and their potential estimated credit worthiness. Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax are the three main national credit reporting agencies that maintain these records and data. Each of these credit bureaus works independently to gather information from lenders, creditors, and other businesses for the purpose of maintaining accurate and up-to-date consumer credit profiles. This information is then requested by other creditors, lenders, insurers, employers, and landlords to be used in evaluating an individual's financial responsibility. Credit reports come in several versions and formats, and some are easier to read than others. However, all credit reports follow similar structure and can be divided into 8 easy-to-understand sections. Section A, Consumer Information. This section contains information about you, the consumer. It includes your name, your current and previous addresses, and your current employer. Section B, Consumer Statement. This section contains a personal comment that you submitted to the credit bureaus to be included in your report. Section C, Summary Information. This section divides your account into 5 types, then provides detailed information about the conditions of those accounts. Types of accounts that are listed in the Summary Information section are real estate accounts, such as your home mortgage or mortgages, including the first and any secondary mortgages. Revolving accounts, such as credit card accounts. Installment accounts, such as car loans. Collection accounts, accounts that are significantly past due and have been transferred either to the creditor's collections department or to an external collector, such as a collection agency. And other accounts that don't fit into one of the other types previously listed, or where the exact terms are not known. Section D, Account History Information. This section provides detailed information about all credit accounts and makes up most of the report. This section includes all regular credit lines, such as department store cards, auto loans, mortgages, and credit cards. If there's any history of late payment, or if the trade line was included in bankruptcy, charged off, or put into repossession. It will also list accounts in good standing, accounts currently past due, and negative account history. This section includes the following information for each of the accounts. Creditor name. This is the abbreviated name of the person or agency that gave you the credit account, such as a bank, credit card company, or mortgage lender. Account number. This is an identifying number for your account. Typically, this would be a credit card number for a credit card account or a loan identification number for a mortgage. Type. This is the type of account. Some common account types are real estate, automobile, educational, and credit card. Condition. This is a detailed description of the account's payment status as of the last reported date. Responsibility. This is the role that you play in the account. For example, individual or joint. Pay status. This is the status of the account. For example, open or closed. Date opened. This is the date when the account was opened. Date reported. This is the last date when any activity in this account was shown. Activities include payments, credit card billings, etc. Very recent activities may not yet show on your account, since it takes time for them to appear in the Bureau's computer system. Balance and limit. This is the amount you presently owe on the account, based on the last reported activity, compared to the maximum amount of credit approved. Very recent activities may not yet have appeared in the Bureau's computer system, so this balance may be a few days out of date. Payment and terms. This is the amount and number of monthly payments scheduled. High balance. This is the most you have ever owed on this account. In the case of a credit card, for example, this would be the highest balance you've ever accumulated. For a mortgage, it would be the initial amount of the mortgage, not the current paid down principal. Past due. This is the amount of payment overdue as of the most recent reported activity. Very recent payments may take a few days to appear on your credit report. Remarks. If there are any remarks by you, or your creditor included in the account information, these remarks will appear here. 2-year payment history. At the bottom of the account information, you will see a histogram that graphically illustrates your payment history over the past 2 years. 7-year payment history. This is a record of any late payments that have occurred over the past 7 years. E. Collection account history information. A collection is an account that has been turned over to a collection agency by one of your creditors because you have not paid the account as agreed. Collection agency information section lists collection accounts and details such as collector's name, originating creditor, client, original amount, balance due, and account number. Collection accounts can appear as paid or unpaid accounts. F. Public record information. The public records section includes bankruptcies, judgments, liens, satisfied judgments, and satisfied liens. All court records, including satisfactions, are considered negative by all credit grantors. This section provides detailed information for those public records such as type, the kind of account, such as a bankruptcy, a tax lien, etc. Status, the current status, resolved or not, of that record. Date filed, reported. The date the record was originally created. How filed, how the record was filed, generally filed individually or jointly. Reference number, the record's identifying number, a legal or court reference number or case number. Closing, release date, the date that the record was closed or released. Court, the name of the entity, court, or agency exercising jurisdiction over the record. Amount, the amount in dollars of any lien or judgment. Remarks, remarks by the legal entity or by you that are included in the official public record. G. Inquiry information. This section provides details about all inquiries made for your credit history, including the inquirer's name and the inquiry date. You can use this information to keep track of those who access your credit report. Remember that only those with whom you have or have requested a credit relationship may make this inquiry. Inquiries that you make about your own credit will not have a negative impact on your credit. However, an excessive number of inquiries by others may. H. Creditor information. This section lists all of the creditors and potential creditors listed on your credit report, including those in the account history and inquiry sections, as well as their addresses and phone numbers when available. It will be necessary to contact them by mail if the phone numbers are unlisted. I. Credit score. Your credit score is a numeric representation of your credit worthiness and helps lenders determine what interest rate to give you, and many insurers use it to determine your premiums. The majority of credit lenders use some sort of credit scoring model to help predict what kind of credit risk you may be. Your credit score is calculated using the information in your credit report. Since your information often is different between your 3 bureau reports, your credit score based on these reports will also vary. A low score can even prevent you from renting the apartment you want, or worse yet, make you ineligible for certain jobs. Your credit score is formulated using the information in your credit history. Your credit score can range between 330 and 830, with a higher credit score indicating a lower risk. According to recent research reports by various public interest groups, as many as 80% of Americans have inaccurate items reported on their credit reports. This costs consumers millions of extra dollars in increased interest rates each year. A study was conducted in 30 states, and adults were asked to order their credit reports and complete a survey on the report's accuracy. The findings were 25% of the credit reports surveyed contained serious errors that could result in the denial of credit, such as false delinquencies or accounts that did not belong to the consumer. 54% of the credit reports contained personal demographic information that was misspelled, long outdated, belonged to a stranger, or was otherwise incorrect. 22% of the credit reports listed the same mortgage or loan twice. Almost 8% of the credit reports were missing major credit, loan, mortgage, or other consumer accounts that demonstrate the credit worthiness of the consumer. 30% of the credit reports contained credit accounts that had been closed by the consumer but remained listed as open. Altogether, 75 to 80% of the credit reports surveyed contained either serious errors or other mistakes of some kind. Review your credit report carefully to identify any items that are negatively impacting your credit score. The following list will help you identify items negatively impacting the credit score: late payment records, charge-offs, paid and unpaid, items included in bankruptcy, which are negative duplicate accounts, negative closed accounts, which can be found in the account history section of your credit report, collections, paid and unpaid, which can be found in the collections account section of your credit report, inquiries, which can be found in the inquiry information section of your credit report, bankruptcy filing records, wage earner plan, foreclosures, judgments, repossessions, tax liens, which can be found in the public records section of your credit report. After you've identified all the negative items that are affecting your credit score, it's in your best interest to highlight and dispute everything you believe to be incomplete, incorrect, inaccurate, questionable, unknown, erroneous, and/or outdated, which are delinquent accounts more than 7 years old, bankruptcies, and other public records older than 10 years old. Credit bureaus have 30 days to investigate your dispute request, verify, and make changes on your credit report, and inform you in writing of their investigation results within 5 days of its completion. If the creditor is unable, unwilling, or unavailable to verify that a credit item is accurate and timely, it must be removed from your credit report. Also, things to check for: make sure your personal information is correct. Make sure your accounts are listed correctly. Make sure your credit lines are listed correctly. Make sure you recognize all the accounts and you're sure that they belong to you. Make sure your balances are listed correctly. If you closed an account, it should say "Account closed by consumer." Make sure you recognize all the public records listed. Make sure you recognize all the credit inquiries. Your credit reports follow you throughout your life and can help you greatly or hurt you, so review them carefully.